Okay, well, I am excited today to be talking with Kim. I met Kim a while ago at the gym of all places, right? Kim, we were hanging out at the gym and I had some products on display at the gym. It was like a little craft fair. And Kim walked by and said, What's this? And so then we got talking and I learned more about her business, which is a pet photography business. So I want her to tell more. I just want to at least give a brief introduction as to how we met and what you do, but I'm going to ask you a few more questions so you can elaborate even further. But I'm just glad to be here together. We've been collaborating a little bit on some side projects and things. We've met for lunch, so we've had some great time together, and I'm just grateful for you taking the time to help us get to know you better and how you serve the people of mostly Utah, probably outside of Utah too, but we'll ask that question eventually, and you can tell us a little bit more. So let me first start by saying thank you. Thanks for being here.
Thank
Kim,
you.
glad you're here. And then second, who are you? Tell us who you are. Let's hear a little bit more about you.
Well, I'm Kim Coleman. I am the master photographer behind Chile Dog Photography. And I should probably explain the name first off, because that's what everybody asks. It was born in Albuquerque when we lived there. My husband is a veterinary internist and sees a lot of Chihuahuas. And Chile is a big deal in New Mexico. The question is, how do you take your chili, green, red, or Christmas?
Cute.
So he came up with the name, and I modeled the logo off of a Chihuahua that I had photographed in Texas. And the dog's name actually was Elsa, so it kind of fit in with the Disney theme.
Cute. Cute.
I've been a photographer for 20 years. I'm a master photographer with the Professional Photographers of America. I'm also a photographic craftsman with them, certified professional photographer with them. Until they killed the program, I was a CPP liaison, so I helped other photographers get through the credentialing process. And I'm a member of the Intermountain PPA here. Well, it's based in Utah at this point, but it's photographers from different Intermountain states. And I'm still a member of the Professional Photographers Guild of Houston.
Okay, very cool.
So
you have a lot of feathers in your cap, a lot of things that just show that you are very good at what you do. And you've been doing, I didn't realize it's been 20 years. I thought it was more of a recent hobby.
Yeah, no, I got my first paying gig with the English Springer Spaniel National Amateur Field Trial in California in 2001.
Okay. And that's why I said Utah and maybe other places, because you do have a lot of experience outside of Utah, photography outside of Utah. So very cool. Well, then tell us a little bit more, because you did kind of start telling us a little bit. Your husband kind of got you involved, but how did you really get started into photography? Like, what was really the...
He did get me involved because he bought me a film camera off of eBay, unbeknownst to me, in order to keep me occupied while we were training our dogs for field trialing.
Very cool.
So that's kind of how it started.
You picked up a camera, he got it for you, and then the rest was history. You really, you must have found passion in it, right? You must have really enjoyed shooting the pictures. And great. Okay, so where do you serve your clients, right? Like I already asked that, but I'm curious. Tell us where you serve, and then I'll ask more questions after that.
I have camera will travel, but I'm actually more known for my studio work with PPA. So I have a studio in my basement. And then I go on location as well. I'm pretty new to Utah, so I'm still geographically challenged, but I'm always finding new places to shoot. I've gone up to Guardsman's Pass. Run Amok Dog Park in Park City is a favorite of mine.
Oh, okay. I was just literally just going to ask, what's one of your favorite places to shoot? And you
Yeah.
just answered that question. So, okay, fun. And just from experience, there's different experiences you've had there, that's become your favorite. It's also beautiful. I do know the area, so very beautiful. Any other spots that you find that are your favorites or you really enjoy shooting?
I recently went up to Wasatch State Park, the visitor center in Midway. And it's a lovely location.
Very pretty.
Really nice backgrounds and a nice lake right there.
Fun.
So that's another new favorite.
Okay. So in studio, you're well known for being in studio, but you also can shoot outside of Utah on location. And here in Utah, you found a few favorite
Yeah,
spots.
and actually most of my early images that won awards with PPA were done at an animal shelter. So I took portable backdrop, portable lights, and set up at the shelter, and small spaces. And a large part of photography is problem solving.
Problem solving. Tell me a little bit more about what you mean by that. Problem solving, like working with the pet that might be wiggly, or tell me more.
Yeah, exactly. And just working with a space you've never been in before.
Gotcha.
And taking your equipment hither and yon. And on location is always interesting, because this is Utah. Weather's always changing, especially this year. So you're always, dodging clouds and thunderstorms, and how do you get the shot even when the conditions aren't ideal?
Yes, that makes we had a doozy, just family pictures over the holiday. Well, it was right before the holidays last year, and we just thought we picked the perfect day, the perfect time. The outfits were laid out, everybody was ready to go, and it was frigid. The temperatures were like 5 degrees, and my kids were all like, "We can't do this in short sleeves, we're freezing." So I can see what you mean. Like, one minute you think it's fine, and the next minute it's not. So being able to be adaptable, it sounds like that's a very important part of your business. Adapting to your environment, adapting to the conditions, adapting to the pet that might not be wanting to cooperate at the time. So there's a lot of dynamics.
And having more patience than mom or dad.
Yes, makes sense to me.
It's just a huge part of pet photography.
That makes sense to me. So tell me a little bit more of, like, who's your ideal client? Who do you love to serve? Who do you get excited about serving?
I really get excited about serving a dog mom, typically, although there are some dog dads who are fanatics, who are just completely dedicated to their pets, and their pets are basically their children, just like mine, that are laying at my feet right now. And people who appreciate animals as art. I mean, animals are artwork to me. And most people don't realize that having your pet on your wall has actually got some health benefits to it too. The picture of a dog can generate almost as much of the love hormone, oxytocin, as having a dog there in person.
Wow.
So there's all kinds of levels to this.
I'm even thinking
animals have been part of artwork for a very long time. They're parts of part of paintings way back. So,
and I'm thinking about the pets we've lost, and how I wish we had a really great, amazing shot of them, because that same energy work that they can provide, living, I'm sure they could do that in the past too. That as I look at a picture, I could see the memories that I had with that pet, and just, it's hard, yes, but also just like, oh, I love that pet. So what a gift that would be to have each pet have a photography session with each pet, to make sure you have long lasting.
And I really recommend that people don't wait until it's too late, because
you never know.
You do never know. And a number of years ago, we lost 2 springers at the age of 7, about 6 months apart, to cancer. And the second one was my heart dog, and we didn't know she was full of cancer. And I have a picture of her 3 months before, actually less than 3 months before, where she's extremely happy. She's flying in the air with my husband, with a big smile on his face and a pheasant in his hand, because she loved birds. And we took her out and tried to do some portraits, environmental portraits, just before we put her to sleep. And you could tell she did not feel well. It took me a very long time, in fact 6 years, to go back to those images.
Wow.
So I I really recommend that if you are interested in it, don't wait.
Yeah, yeah, that's a great sound advice, because that's interesting. You can tell just by the look. That's not the dog that I remember for all the other years, the other 6 years you had her. So good advice. Good advice. Okay, let's see. So as a business owner, we're kind of shifting gears to the business, talking to people that have their own business or have started their own business. I have a couple business questions for you, because it can be tricky, right? Being a business owner can be very
It's hard.
it can be very hard. And you've been at this for many years. And so I would love to hear, what do you do when you get discouraged? Because sometimes things don't work out like we planned or wanted, and that's just part of being a business owner. So what do you do when those moments come? How do you get yourself out of the funk?
I hired a business coach last winter, and she walked me through automating things, making things efficient, setting my prices to a point where I could actually be sustainable as a business. And I go back to her when I get discouraged.
Love it. Love it.
Basically for a kick in the seat of the pants. But,
yeah. That we all need. And I know you and I talked about that off this interview. You know, we've talked about how important it is to surround yourself with people that can really see outside of your organization. And I know your business coach actually is part of the organization, but also not in your business, right? Like she has an outside opinion, outside eyes on the business. And I think
and I actually last night I spoke to another mentor via Zoom. I'm part of his paid online community for photographers, not just pet photographers. And he had a lot of really interesting points, and found at least one missing link in my process.
Amazing. And again, the outside eyes looking in, right? So any business owner, most of the people that watch my stuff are like, they're thinking about starting a business. Maybe they're in a business already. They might already be discouraged. And so that's why I really like to bring these up, because everybody has a passion for something. And if you can monetize it, even better, right? So you've been able to take your passion, monetize it. And when you got discouraged, you realized I need some outside help. And in 2 instances now, you know, with the gentleman yesterday and then last year hiring your business coach, have really been able to help you grow. So love that. That is awesome. What have you done to grow your business? What's been some of the tools you've used to grow your business?
Well, this year, I am going to the Park Silly Sunday Market, I think 7 times.
Nice.
I've been attending the Salt Lake County, I think it's a county or is it a city? I keep getting them mixed up. Yappy hours. And a couple of events at Wheeler Farm, doing in-person events. So I actually meet people face to face, doing a giveaway in order to grow my email list. So asking for phone numbers and email addresses. Been trying to stay away from Facebook ads, but my business coach, and this little tidbit, hopefully help some of your viewers. She really changed my mind about Facebook advertising. I think she's got a continuously running ad, basically to just bring in her audience, and it's my audience too. So I have an ad that's very low spend but continuous, and I optimized it for price per like, and it's bringing in people from all over the country, but it's people who are interested in what I'm doing. And it's kind of amazing to see people comment on the ads.
Yeah.
People share the ads. It's not local. Local is much more expensive. I've tried that too. But just growing that audience and getting that social proof. Because I've always been told that, likes are a vanity metric.
Yeah.
And to some extent, I think they still are. But I'm trying to keep an open mind.
Yeah, getting more eyes on is important for sure. So
and the thing that people respond to the most are the cartoons
Hmm.
that I share I just share them to my Facebook page, and they get more response than anything I create.
Crazy. So the cartoons, like when you take a dog's image and turn it to a cartoon image, is that what you
No,
mean?
it's somebody else's cartoons, like the Far Side, if they
Oh,
do an
gotcha.
animal related
Gotcha.
cartoon and I
Gotcha.
share it. It's really kind of funny.
Okay, I'm gonna have to follow you because I'm all about humor. I love humor and I love like Far Side type stuff. So sometimes
The
I don't always
Boston
get it, but
Terrier, there's a Boston Terrier Association that does a lot of them too.
fun. Okay, I'm gonna have to start
Yeah.
following, and we'll make sure we link. You know, I would love for others to follow you too. So we'll make sure we link your stuff in
That'd
this.
be awesome.
Yeah.
Be awesome. Chile Dog Photography,
Okay,
Chile Dog Facebook, Chile Dog Photo.
Okay. We'll get it after, actually. I don't want to spend time here writing it down. I'll make sure I get it and put it in the notes. So good. Okay, good. So then I just have, let's see, one more question, because I think this is really great for those listening that either have a pet and can kind of get a little bit of humor out of it, and understand business owner side of things. Because the question is, what's been one of your biggest failures? I want to hear about the failure. And then I also am going to ask what's been one of your biggest successes as well. So biggest failure first, hopefully something you can laugh about, maybe not, maybe it's too soon, but biggest failure and biggest success as a business owner.
Biggest failure as a business owner, I would have to say, is not treating my work as a business for a long time.
Such, yes. Okay. Yes. Love it. Love it. Love it. That's great. So more of a hobby, just enjoying it, not really tracking,
Yes.
not really paying
Yes, and
attention.
it's not sustainable as a hobby.
Yeah.
And you can't help anybody else either if you're not sustainable. I love to shoot for rescues. Great images really do help dogs get adopted faster. And not being sustainable as a business won't allow me to do that kind of work.
Get back. Yeah. Wonderful. Okay, good. So
Biggest
it's
success.
well, let me
biggest-
just say really quick on the failure side of things. This is what I love. This is why I always like to ask this question of like the failure part, because really out of it comes success, right? Like there's no way to get ahead in a business without some failures first. So I love that the failures that you've recognized have turned out to be tremendous successes that helped you get to where you are today, but also how to give back, right? You're recognizing that without tracking these things, you know, I'm not able to give back like I like to. So love that too. Okay, now tell us your biggest success.
Biggest success probably isn't a business success, but I did have an image nominated for a Grand Imaging Award a number of years ago with PPA's International Photographic Competition. And that simply means that it was one of the top 10 animal portraits of that year.
Awesome. Amazing. Right.
And I did that at a shelter too.
So cool. So a shelter pup
So you
turned.
can do a lot with a little.
Oh, that's really cool. Very, very cool. Well, I'm super proud of everything that you've done and what you're doing for the community and how you give back too, but also just spreading love in such great ways, because these pets, there's nothing like it, right? The feelings they can give us and the
Yes.
healing power. Honestly, there's so much to it. So connect with him if you have a
Well,
pet.
I'm grateful for you. Thank you so much.
No, of course. I want people to connect with you that are looking for ways to get their pet, you know, photographed, because it's a priceless thing. You can't ever get that back, just as you described so perfectly with your own beloved pet. But want people to connect with you and hope they'll consider hiring you for any, even other functions. I know a lot of breeders too, and so it would be great if they could have a way to just photograph these beautiful pups. And so we'll make sure that this gets into the right hands. But I hope that those watching take advantage of what you have to offer. And if there are any special offers, let me know and I can link them in the notes as well, and be sure people know how to connect with you and what offers you might be having. And but you'll find Kim out and about, like you said, in Park City at Park City, but other events. We'll even be tag teaming some in the future, one in Draper in just a couple weeks together. So that will be fun as well.
Yep.
So thank you, Kim. Any last parting thoughts? Anything you want to share you didn't feel like that I addressed? Any last?
Just that dog wall art isn't just for dog parents. It can benefit businesses too. Any business that requires some trust with your clients. Dogs are a social catalyst. they put people at ease. It's much easier to talk to somebody who has a dog or in the presence of a dog than if a dog is not there. So consider it as a potential benefit for your business. And it's also a great employee, I'm coming up short on words.
Like an
Employee
employee.
benefit.
Yeah, yeah. Even if it were their own pets, like imagine a business could have their business partners or those that work with their employees have their pet photographed. I keep wanting to say photographed, have their pet photographed and be able to put it in their office or at their desk, and have a professional come in and do that for them. And what a fun event, corporate wide. But then to your point, coming into a waiting room, I'm going to feel a lot more chill if I come to a waiting room and I'm seeing pictures of pets everywhere rather than people shaking hands and saying success is blah, blah, blah. Like that just feels stiff and not as fun.
Yep.
Right? So
Use that shot of oxytocin.
Yes. Love it. What a great suggestion. So wherever you are in your life, you might want to consider connecting with Kim and getting a way to have your pet or your colleagues' pets or your clients' pets photographed. So appreciate your time, Kim, with us.
Appreciate you. Thank you.
Yes, of course. And we'll be talking, you and I will be talking soon. So appreciate you and we'll talk with you soon. Bye.
Bye.